Hey, good morning, YouTube. This is about my house, and none of these glasses look stupid, but you know what? My dad bought me these. He bought two pair from that Dr. Leonard's, and these are the best. I don't always need glasses, just sometimes when I don't have enough light, but I've glued them back together 100 times. Best reading glasses I've ever had. They're like, I think he paid like $9 for them, but I've had them for like 12 years. But I got an engineer's report on my house, and here's an assessment summary, and you guys can tell me what you think. It says, based on the information acquired and GHD's assessment of the subject structure, the following summary of opinions were provided. The following conditions were associated with a tree impact to the subject residence. Complete collapse of the western portion of the subject residence, cracked wall roof framing at the western portion of the residence, interior wall ceiling finish cracks, separation between the walls, baseboards, and floor, separation between the crown molding and walls, stained ceiling and wall finish at the western portion of the hallway due to roof leaks from the tree impact. The electrical wires in the attic space had been snapped and stretched. Access to the crawl space of the residence was unavailable due to the presence of debris. However, it's the area in the tree impact. However, given the extent of separations between the walls, baseboards, and floor in the living room, hallway, and north central bedroom, it's GHD's opinion that some of the floor framing or foundation was damaged as a result of a tree. Reference framing and foundation damage resulted in observation separations. Separations between the walls, baseboards, and floor were observed in other rooms. Consequently, it appeared that the floor framing under the foundation damage and the tree impact occurred in the area of the tree impact and below the living room, hallway, and north central bedroom. The extent of the separations between the crown molding and the ceiling noted within the living room, north central bedroom, and northeast bedroom indicated that significant movement of the walls and or roof framing had occurred as a result of the tree impact. While it's GHD's opinion that the interior wall and ceiling cracks were the result of the tree impact, it was also GHD's opinion that the material expansion contraction due to thermal moisture-induced volume changes contributed to cracks in the garage, and that's bullshit. That crack wasn't there. I told him it wasn't. In the utility room, the cracks in the reference rooms may have existed prior to tree impact, and I told him it wasn't there when he looked at it, and he still put that in the report. Here's their recommendations. Given the extent of the damage to the roof at the area of complete collapse of the residence, along with the extent of the complete partial withdrawal of the roof, rafter fasteners, and the ridge board, it's GHD's opinion it would be more economical to replace the entire roof covering and framing than to perform individual spot repairs. That means if they repair the house, they want all new trusses or rafters built completely took off. That means all the drywall and the ceiling would come off, everything inside. So replacement of damaged floor framing and or foundations. The extent of reference damage was intermediate given the lack of crawl space access. The GHD noted that electrical wires in the attic space had snapped as a result of tree impact. The reference wires should be replaced and rerun. You think I'm going to let them just rerun my attic wires and just patch things up? No, I'm not. Along with the exterior wall, the area of the complete collapse, it's their opinion the rear north exterior walls of the north central bedroom and the northeast bedroom should be replaced given the extent of the movement from the tree impacts. It's estimated that approximately 86 linear feet of exterior wall require replacement. Patching of interior ceiling and wall cracks. Well, how are you going to patch a ceiling crack when you're going to take all the rafters off? That's asinine. That's asinine. My house is total, guys. I don't care what they say. I'm not a cheater, and I'm not sitting here trying to get something that don't belong to me. But I've got My house is covered heavily. They're the ones that put the amount on the coverage. I do not want this house rebuilt. And I'll tell you one reason why. Well, there's several reasons. If they rebuild the house, they're going to have to completely gut it, rewire it, because I'm not going to have patching up done. It's not going to happen. If they're going to have to take all the roof off, they might as well rewire the whole house, right? Or am I just being cynical here or stupid? It's a black eye on that house if I go to resell it. That a big tree hit it, and was it repaired right? They send over a contractor that I know that's not that good, really, at what he does. But he does insurance claims, whatever, estimates. He's got the software. They want an estimate down to the nail. You can't do that. That's bullshit. I've got a contractor friend that's probably one of the best contractors in this town that don't have that software. He comes over and looks at my house. He said, this house is totaled. He said, you'd have to rebuild 3/4 of this house, basically. Which my house is 1,600 square feet. So that's 1,200 square feet. And you're looking at, that's a new house at 1,200 square feet. And a contractor building it, that's $130,000. That's not counting the lot. That's getting by cheap. That's what they charge. If I contracted out myself, I could probably do it for $110. My house is 1,600 square feet. So if I rebuild to 1,600 square feet, you're going to say $100 a square foot, it's going to cost $160,000. That ain't counting removal of the old house. So you figure in $5,000 there, maybe $6,000. Come in there, rip it down, haul it all away. If they decide to do that, so that makes it $170. They would be better off just to pay me. My house is insured for $152,500. The house isn't worth $152,500, but they put the insurance on it. But it would cost me that to replace it. But I want to rebuild there. I don't want that house anymore. And I've done talked to several adjusters that told me just to hang on. If I'm not in a hurry, that things will work out for me. So, you just have to see. You can see the pictures of the house doesn't do it any justice. If you're there looking at it, you'd say, yeah, this place is probably total, because it even looks like the foundation on the back corner sunk, which, well, it is sunk. So there you go. You'd have to jack up, and no telling how much, if it messed up the floor beam, the floor joist. So there, even if it didn't, you're talking about jacking the house up, tearing those block out, repouring new footings to have today's standards through the inspector's office. The inspector's not going to put up with them patching wires. That's not going to happen. And I'm not having it. I paid $5,500 to have a house wired 10 years ago by one of the best electricians in town, because it was a burnout and he had to do a lot of different stuff. I'm not putting up with being patch ups. And so if they comp that, here it's going on 5 weeks. I haven't heard nothing else. They paid my rent here on this place for 2 weeks or for 3 months, which is fine. But I'm out a lot of money. I've got my power and water on over there, and I don't know whether to just go ahead and have it turned off, which I'll probably go ahead and do today, because I'm not using it, and it's a little extra bill every month because I got to pay my power and water here and my rent. They're paying my rent, but I don't guess they're paying my power and water. And I know the floor's damaged. My daughter's bedroom, I was over there trying to fish out some stuff the other day. There's a big hole in the floor. Hardwood floors from 1962. You can't find that wood anymore. They had to put new hardwood floor down, which I'm just not going to take it rebuilt. I'm going to stand on it. If it takes a year, it can just sit there and rot down. They got to pay my rent for a year. So that's where I stand. And if that's wrong, then if people think I'm wrong, then fine. I don't care what you think. But I just want to share that with you. You just have to be in my shoes to know what I'm talking about. And it's hard to just look at pictures or listen to me talk, because I could tell you it's snowing outside and you know nor to believe it or not. And it's not, because it's June. So, appreciate everybody watching. Hope everybody's doing good. Sorry I hadn't been watching videos. I've been kind of just out of it. I fractured a bone in my foot, and I kind of had a rough time for 2 or 3 weeks. And it still hurts a little, but that along with moving and the PTSD from that tree falling and me standing in that house, it really got to me. And I mean, I can sit and think about that sometimes, and I start a panic attack, dudes. I can't deal with that thought. So, one night I was laying here thinking about that, my daughter moving away, which she's not going to now. She's going to do it at a later date, but. And then I started thinking about my dad that passed away. My ex-mother-in-law just passed away. The tree falling. If my kids would have been in their room, well, if I'd have been on the couch, we'd be dead. And all that just hit me all at once. I had a panic attack hit me, and my heart was beating 900 miles an hour, and I couldn't get my breath. And I thought I was going to have to go to the hospital, but I didn't. I calmed down. So I had a nerve pill or whatever and took it, and it helped me. So anyway, that's where I'm at. I hope everybody's doing good. I'm not being a dick about all this. I just want it to be done right. I paid insurance for 10 years on this house, and I've had my auto insurance there for 25 years, never had a claim. It's not like I'm trying to beat anybody, but I want things to be done like it's supposed to be. So, thanks for watching. Have a good day. Hope everybody has a great weekend, and I appreciate it. Thanks.